We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And the tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll run it with P-Ryan. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That's on the guard, David Edwards. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here we go on 4th. Stafford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Winston targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down. Winston to give. It's Kamara. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara, trying to run for it. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. We're scoreless after 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Room here to run. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. A give up the middle to Akers. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On fourth down, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action. Winston. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aaron Donald. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. Oh, this is going to be fielded defensively, and remember, this is a live football. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. 57 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Going right back to Akers. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll go to Pirine, trying to pound it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Samaje Pirine in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Out to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. A fairly short kick from the 14. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Olave holds it in. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Buying time to his left. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Gay is on for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here we go with Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to air one out. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And the Rams are going to take over here up near the 40. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go again here with Akers. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Earlier, they had 2 other 4th down conversion attempts that did not go their way. This time, it does go their way.
And this reminds me of a conversation I had with him in the offseason. There wasn't even a game to be played, but what he told me, I have enough confidence in my team and my play-calling ability that I think I can always pick it up. Thus, they continue to go for it.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They snap it to Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll run on first down with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 88 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend. The first down carry for Davis. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Caught by Allen. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. 4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Winston. This one swung out here to Jones. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Off the play fake, Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Burke. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Jameis now on 1st down. Flush to his right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Derwin James with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate. I will guarantee you the defensive guys.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll run here with Akers. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Again, it'll be Akers. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Akers. And this time he is in. Yes. Cam Akers taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Rams are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they?
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Rams will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Los Angeles.